Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Mm,
Okay, so let's start today by paying respect. I
yeah.
will share the screen now.
Today we will continue with the Paṭicca-samuppada, the dependent origination. We will see more aspects, the different dimensions as we spoke the other day. You will see today we will need some, we will do some mental gymnastics. It will be necessary. So let's start by paying respect, remembering Sadhu Nandamalaji, Sadhu Kamsachara, Sadhu Tajaniya, all our teachers with much gratitude. Let's remember our parents and all the teachers we have had in this life, thinking in their for their well-being and inner stability. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhasam. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhasam. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhasam. May all our teachers and future teachers have all the best. Let's start
Yes.
today.
Okay, so today we are going to continue with the dependent origination. And last time we already seen all the links, the 12 factors, the 12
Mhm.
links of the dependent origination.
We will see the dependent origination is about us, how life comes into the world, and why we are here, how did we came, and what is the possibilities we have to break with the cycle of suffering. So let's bring our attention up. As I said, we will do today some mental gymnastics. It's gonna require our attention. It's very important, and the insights that can arise from this teaching can be very profound. So yes, Jana.
And today we are going to look into a little bit more details using this chart, the wheel of life. So today we are going to look at the different layers of this the Paṭicca-samuppada, the dependent origination itself.
Mhm.
And there are some interesting details here. And we will start with the 12 factors, which we have already seen, just
Mhm.
as a reminder.
Mhm.
So in these 12 factors, it's called the Dwadasa Angani. Anga is factors. Dwi, two, dasa, 10.
10.
So 12 factors.
Dui dos dasa 10.
So the 12 factors actually is kind of revision because we have already seen. So because there is ignorance as direct or indirect cause, then there is sankhara. Sankhara here meaning sometimes our teacher used the word creative karma because it is when we do things, so it create something, no, the karma which create results.
Planting seeds.
Yes, so that's sankhara here. So because of sankhara, then we have vijnana, then we have vijnana, then it comes with nama rupa, then salayatana, phassa, and vedana, which is consciousness, cetasika, and metta. Then because we do actions, so when the results happens, it happens as vijnana, no, as resultant consciousness arises because of our past actions. So with this vijnana, when there is consciousness, cetasika always arise together, as we have already saw before. And also some types of rupa, sometimes it's kamaja rupa, sometimes chittaja rupa, depending on the time it arises together. So nama and rupa here means cetasika and metta, no, and rupa.
So that means a new being born because of previous actions in the past life. There was potentiality. That person planted seeds, and the consciousness that arises in the new womb of the mother and the body, the little fetus that starts developing, is the result of previous energy. There was potentiality already. So in that way, we born this life. In that way, the babies that are born right now or in the mother's womb are developing. We are talking about the beginning of, let's take this life based on previous actions. We got the material in terms of the energy, in terms of consciousness and body to arise. This is us right now. Then?
Yes, also just as a reminder, although we are human beings and we focus on human beings, we have to also remember that the Paṭicca-samuppada is related to all beings. So all kinds of beings are not free from this will of life. So even Brahmans, in the case of Brahman, that it will be Vijnana Paccaya Nama.
Nama only,
So
because they have no
rupa,
body.
no?
Yeah.
But for animals will be Vijnana Paccaya Nama Rupa, like us, like human beings as well. So it includes all kinds of beings. So when there is Nama and Rupa for humans and for those beings that have 5 aggregates, which has Rupa as well, then Salayatana, the 6 senses, also developed.
Because the little baby already got in the womb, already arose in the womb, then the body starts developing, and then the eyes, his or her eyes will develop, ears, nose, tongue, and the ability to sense soft and cold, hot and soft and hard, sorry, hot and cold. Because there is a body, it naturally will start getting, and because of that body, the mind will start receiving, as we have seen, visual consciousness, sound consciousness, etc.
Yes, so not only the 5 senses, but also the mind also, no?
Itself,
Manayatana, which are chittas itself, no? So Manayatana also included for humans and for the beings who have only mind also.
Yeah, as I said, you have the senses and the consciousness arises, Nama and Rupa. Yeah, then go.
I mean, Salayatana. Salayatana include Manayatana, mind base.
Mind base, yes.
So 6 kind of bases. So because there are these 6 kind of bases, phasa, contact with objects arise. So because of contact, then there is mental feeling. So these are the other links that we have already seen until number 7. Then we go ahead because there is Vedana. Then usually most of the time tanha arises because of mental feeling. We like it or we don't like it and want something else, then craving arise. Then when craving comes to a degree which is
heightened,
a higher degree, then it becomes upadana, becomes grasping. When we get something, we hold on to it and we don't want to let go. So because of upadana, again, holding on to ideas and holding on to cravings and life and all kinds of things, then again, we do actions. So here, bhava, as we mentioned, there are 2 kinds. Kama bhava means we do actions.
Again, we do actions in this life. We actually are doing actions right now, kusala or akusala, yes.
And then upapati bhava also included, which are upapati bhava means the aggregates that arise because of our own actions. No, it's also this mind and body.
Our present actions, yeah.
Yes. So bhava, paccaya, jati, and jara, marana. So those are the last 2 links. Because we are born, I mean, because we do actions, we are born again. And then since we are born, there will be old age and sickness. And sometimes also sokha paridewa dukkha domanasa, no? Then all other sufferings might also happen.
Despair, sadness, mental pain, anger. It's possible for in a human mind to arise. Focusing on humans. And then because we born already, we whatever borns eventually gets old and passes away. Jara, marana, it decays, and then marana, it dies. And then the suffering that can arise from the loss of somebody else who died. Sometimes we suffer also when a dear one, if there was some degree of attachment to some situation, thing, or person, that often is common for human beings to develop some kind of sorrow.
Okay, so until here, I hope you are seeing the graphic clearly. So until here, these 12 links, which is the first layer of this diagram, is covered. So let's go to another layer. Now, another thing that we can understand from this Paṭicca-samuppada are the time frames. So we have 3 time frames here. Tayo Ada is called 3 time frames.
Okay, attention here, my dear family, is going to become very interesting. Yes,
we have already mentioned it a little bit when we explained it about the factors. So we see now here, avijja and sankhara actually is talking about a past life or past time, no? So because there was avijja and then we did a lot of different kinds of actions in the past, therefore there are present effects. So from Vijnana, Namarupa, Salayatana, Phasa, Vedana, Tanha, Upadana, and Bhava, all these factors on this side belong to the present life.
We are right now experiencing and contributing and moving with these factors. We experience sensation, then we might develop some desire, and then some attachment, and then we
Do
actions again on it. And this is what is happening. This is us in the present life. The previous ignorance and actions was the potential for us to born this time. Now we are here on the present, and then we move in the present. We are planting seeds for the next life. So actually, the present life is the past life of our next one.
I'm coming there, actually.
Our present life is the past of our future life. Is it? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so before we jump there, so we hear these factors belong to our present life, and then because we keep doing actions in this present life, so our future life is bound to happen. If all the causes and conditions are still there, then the result will happen, no? So our future life will happen. Now, Bhante was saying the present become the past. It's because the wheel of life, it rolls on and on. We can also see it in a further view. Here we see three lives, no? Past life, present life, and future life. But if we go on to see it as whole samsara, then as Bhante said, what we do now, the present life, will become a future life. So when we are born here, then that becomes the past life. We
are already in the second round of the wheel. Is that clear?
Yes. So what we do now will give result to the future. And if we are born already, what we was done become the past causes, no? And then become again a present life, and then become a future will come again, and that's why we roll on and on and on, no?
The actions of Diego, Guillermo, Nancy, Bhante, Rahul, Charanapali will be the past energy of past actions of who knows who will, if we don't get enlightened, who knows who we will be. And then the round goes again, another round and another round. And this is the way that samsara rolls from life to life. So you see the link. That's why the Paṭicca-samuppada, as we mentioned before, is actually to understand it, is talking about three lives. But in fact, it has been rolling for very long, for thousands and thousands of lives. So as long as there is energy and as long as there is material to burn, the fire will continue.
Yes, as Bhante said, it is important here that we understand that this Paṭicca-samuppada is mentioning of three lifetimes, no? Like the past, the present, and the future. Because otherwise, if we take it into just only one life, then it doesn't make sense. Because here, we're born already once, no? Because of past sankhara, then this vijnana arises. But here, jati again, so we cannot born twice in the same life. Yes, so it is not possible. So therefore, these are the past and present, and then going to the future. So just for your information, in Pali, this is called Atita Kala, Pachupana Kala. Kala is time. Anagata Kala. So it is talking about the past, the future, and the present and the future. Relative, no? Because as Bhante said, now this life become the past for next life, and then another future life becomes, it turns around and around.
So as you see, as we mentioned from the beginning, but without having this graph, for example, to visualize it, Paṭicca-samuppada explains one life, why we are here, and it explains the course of existence of all things. How do we roll in the cycle of samsara? Cause and effect. Nature doesn't create something spontaneously, doesn't destroy something spontaneously. It just enacts the potentiality that was previously planted. Cause and effect, rolling. Energy does not get created or destroyed. It just changes form. Taking consciousness as one of the main forces or energies that moves us. It makes us speak, wholesome or unwholesome. It makes us act with our body, wholesome or unwholesome. It makes us think, wholesome or unwholesome. The force of nature, us, existence in the bigger picture, and with the microscope, looking at just ourselves right now. Yes.
Okay, so
until here, everybody fine? Everybody fine? Good, no? How it is opening the scope. Now, wow, another layer, and there are still some other layers to uncover. Yes.
Okay, so we have seen now the three time frame, the past, present, and future. Now we have to see a little bit of the causes and effect as well, because Paṭicca-samuppada is the teaching of cause and effect. No, so now let's go into the cause and effect. Here we can see that this avijja and sankhara is actually past cause. No, because it is because there is avijja, we do things. So this planting seeds is a cause
for this life, for us now, right now.
For him is a future life. Now in that lifetime he is planting, and for a future life to come. So in a past life we planted cause, so it's called past cause, and therefore present effects to arise. So these five are actually present effects, if you see, because vijnana, resultant consciousness, and nama and rupa, the chetasikas and the rupa that accompany this vijnana. Also, then we have the six senses, and then we have phasa and vedana. All these are effects. No, they are the result of past causes, of the past cause. Now here, an important thing is that this is belong to present life, present effects. So because there are these present effects in the present, this half is the present. No, still we are making again present cause, because we have vedana, and then we have a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. Why do we have this? Because those are effects. We did things already in the past, and we are now harvesting.
This is
whatever
vipaka.
is happening. Yes. So, but towards what we are harvesting, we are now reacting. If we react with tanha again, then we are planting again
new seeds. So in the present, as you see, my dear family, because of previous causes, we born. We have this body and this mind as a result of our previous action. But with this very mind and this very body that we are carrying right now, we are planting new causes. We are the effect, and as we think and act, we are planting new causes that are going to be the next. It will give another future effect, another life. So you see, the cause brings the effect. That effect becomes the cause for another effect. So then the link, the chain, the chain,
cause, we make new
cause with that effect. Yeah, with that effect, we make new cause. Thank you. And then it is linked, cause and effect, cause and effect. Life happens, life happens, life happens. And here we go from life to life.
Yes, so here, if we divide this circle into four parts, one portion belong to the past, two portions belong to the present, one portion belong to the future. But we see we have past cause. Because of this past cause, present effects arises. So because of we react to these past effects, and then because we are born already, so we are bound to do actions because we are already here, no good or bad. So we are making again present cause. So with this present cause, future result
we will get happen. future result. This is our part of responsibility. Depending on what kind of seeds we plant as we are alive, it's gonna be the effect.
The effect is going to come. Okay, until here,
everybody okay? Yes, no, it's clear, no? Interesting.
Yes. Okay, so let's go to.
Should we touch base and see how we feel? Or
as you wish. Yeah.
As you like.
Depend on them if they have something to say.
Some question or comment until now? Anybody? Everything fine? Continue? Okay.
Okay, so now let's continue to see a little bit deeper into this Paṭicca-samuppada. Another interesting thing here we have to consider is something that is called the three rounds. Tini Watani in Pali. So rounds here means something that roll on and on. Also the cause and effect, and so on. So here we have to see whenever the first one is called Kilesa Wata. So the round of defilements, So whenever we see that there is avijja, we have to understand that there is also actually tanha and upadana is also present. Why is that so? Because when we do things, then we all not only do actions, but the past action, we're not doing it only with avijja, also with craving, also with the tanha, with the upadana.
They are always together. So this, ignorance, the desire and craving, they are always together. They are the architects.
Yes. So whenever avijja is mentioned, then tanha and upadana we have to take into account. So for the past causes, we have to understand these three works together. And in the same way, here, when we see in the present causes, tanha and upadana is mentioned, but surely avijja is also there.
As we know, ignorance is a universal cetasika, isn't it? So whenever we are feeling desire, ignorance is already there. So actually, it is also included, yes.
Mm-hmm. So here, why is that only this is mentioned? Because only the leading factor is mentioned here. But to understand it properly, we have to understand whenever avijja is mentioned, it is the leading cause, but tanha and upadana is also there. And when tanha and upadana is mentioned,
it's leading now.
But avijja
we
is
know
also
that
there.
Ignorance is in the background.
Yes.
We already know it because it's a universal.
Yeah, later we will go into more detail about this point.
Yes.
So these three together, always together, is called kilesa wata, the round of defilement. So we have to understand that there are three of them here. Now let's go to another round. The next round is called kama wata, the round of karma. Here, sankhara, because of these three, then we do all kinds of actions, good and bad. So sankhara, so why does tanha give good actions as well? We can also say, because tanha give unwholesome actions, surely we want this, and then we sometimes may take things that do not belong to us because of craving or all kinds of things. But how about good actions? Good actions we can also do because of tanha sometimes, not direct cause, but indirect cause. Because we think if I do this kusala, if I do these good merits, then later, next life, I will be born as a rich person, I will be born as a beautiful person, or I might be born in a good situation as a Brahmin or as a Deva, whatever it may be. Craving can also be involved for our motivation in doing good actions as well, sometimes. So therefore, all these are included. Now, this sankhara is, we have already explained that it is creative karma, that is planting seeds. So here, whenever you see sankhara mentioned, then we have to know that bhava is also there.
Becoming, kama bhava, doing
so
action.
Sankhara and kama bhava is actually the same, we're doing actions, So here on the other side, we also see bhava here. And so if we see bhava, that means sankhara is also there. So these two together, this is called the round of karma. Okay, so here we have this kamawata, sankhara, and bhava.
This is the active side of the wheel. So to get more into the graphic, the red and the green are the active side of the wheel. They are a group, and they actually are the same ingredients, only that at the beginning, ignorance is leading, and desire and attachment are supporting, and then on the present, desire and attachment are leading, and ignorance is supporting in the back. But if you recognize, both of them are actually the same. So actually the wheel actually is not that, it is smaller than what appears. It is talking about three lives, but actually we can see that the same is happening, the same cause are happening, and the same effects are happening. And you will see right now. So we can see the active side of the wheel. The red and the green is the active side when somebody's planting seeds, either in the past, planted seeds, or planting seeds in the present. And we can see that the blue side, it is the effect, the vipaka, depending on those actions. It is coming now in the graph. We can see that it is only cause and effect. We could have cut the wheel on the half, and we have the same functioning. But when we have it complete, we can see three lives are rolling and rolling. So cause and effect. Yes, and here we go.
Yes. So
everybody okay? Fine until here? Getting clearer and clearer? Beautiful. Now this graph, a lot of layers, dimensions that it has.
Okay, so now here we see this kilesa wata and kama wata. So kilesa, these red ones, as Bhante said, red ones, these three of them are called the kilesas, and then the kama, sankhara, and bhava is actually
because
kama,
of kilesa, so we do. Yes.
So kilesa and kama, these two things are actually the main factor of producing a new life, of producing effects, no, producing new life. If you were in Bante Maga's lecture yesterday, he also mentioned kilesa and kama, both of them working together in order to produce a new life. So here we see the kilesa wata and kama wata in the past cause as well as the present cause. So here you see, here it is actually 5 past causes, 5 factors here: avijja, tanha, padana, sankhara, and bhava. So 5 past causes, and here present cause as well, kilesa plus kama, 5 present cause as well.
The same ones in the past, and now the ones that we are doing for the future.
Okay, until here, is it clear? Yes. Okay, now so let's go to the third round. The third round is called the vipaka wata. Vipaka wata is the round of resultant. So as Bante already explained, since these are causes, because there are kilesa plus kama, because they are both there, so vipaka is bound to happen. So the blue ones, these are vipaka, the result, the present effects, present result of the past causes. No, so these 5 factors are there, and in the same way, this side also it is vipaka. No, it is also vipaka. Now here, we understand that resultant consciousness, the cetasikas and the rupa that accompany the chitta, so is actually vipaka. No, they are result, and phasa and vedana are actually also only cetasikas. No, they are cetasikas.
Contact and mental sensation, yes.
Yeah, salayatana is partly rupa, the eye, ear base, and partly rupa, and the manayatana is chitta itself. So actually, all these 5, in simple words, they are nama and rupa. Correct? Let's see. Vijnana, chitta, no? Vijnana is chitta. And nama and rupa was nama and rupa. Then salayatana, partly rupa, eye base, ear base, nose base, etc. The 5 bases, and the mind base. No? So again, rupa and nama. Then phasa is cetasika, vedana is cetasika. Yes. So here actually is nothing but mind and matter, nama and rupa here. So here, kilesa plus kama, past causes. Because of there are causes, then result happen. Result, what is the result? Nama and rupa. There are nama and rupa. So again, because we have nama and rupa, then we act, we do all kinds of actions, and then sometimes we act with kilesas as well. So again, we have kama and kilesa, which will produce future result. Future result, what are they? Jati and here mentioned jati and jara marana. But what is born, what gets old, and what dies is actually just nama and rupa. So we understand that jati and jara marana is only describing some kind of state of this nama and rupa. So meaning vijnana, nama rupa, salayatana, phasa, and vedana.
Yeah,
what get old, what die, what is born?
What gets born? Our mind and body, which is nama and rupa there. What decays and eventually dies? Jara marana, which is now the focus. It is the same, the 5 aggregates, or our mind and our body. So you see, now it's just giving another layer of example on the source of suffering. Because of we born, that's why we get old, and because of getting older, or the suffering that happens in life, the change and the disappearance of things or situations, then suffering is bound to happen. So in this way, we can see that these first from the 3 to the 7, this vedana, nama, rupa, sankara, vijnana, and then phasa and vedana, these are just repeated. That is the thing that borns again. So we are talking now in the future life, a new one that born again. Yeah. And then here we go to the beginning. There was already potentiality. The wheel continue turning.
Now here, another point we have to know is that here, these 5 effects, nama and rupa, basically are mentioned, although jara and marana is not mentioned, but since we are born, that is bound to come. We have to understand that it is also included. No, so that doesn't mean that in present life we don't get old, we don't die. No? So it is included here. And then in a future life, borning and getting old, what born and what get old, the 5 aggregates, no, mind and matter again. Okay, so here is the vipaka, is a vipaka vata, the round of the resultant. No? So here you see again we have 5 factors here, so 5 present effects. And here, this again we count, although we have 7 things here, but we count 5. Why is that so? Because jati and jara marana is nothing different than a different stage of the nama and rupa. No?
The
so
same,
we only
same
need
ingredients.
to count these 5.
Yes.
So here also 5 future effects. So here we have 5 past cause, 5 present effects, 5 present causes, 5
future effects. So I go again slowly. We have 5 past causes, previous life. Because of those things,
main one, no?
Main.
Of course, more
then we got the
conditions.
5 present effects, our
Nama
body
and
right now,
rupa.
nama and rupa. With this present effect, with this mind and body, we do again, we still have kilesa, ignorance and desire to do something good or bad. And then we do it. And then because of these 5 present causes, we will, whenever it's time, harvest the 5 future effects. And with those future effects, we will do new causes. As long as we don't stop the cycle, samsara will continue rolling in this way. So this is, again, I emphasize, explaining our life and the course of existence through different lives.
So here we see, this is called actually the 20 modes, Visati Akara, 20 in terms that there are 5 past cause, 5 present effects, 5 present causes, and 5 future effects. So all here we have 20 factors, no, that compose the whole 3 times of past, present, and future.
How are we? How are we until now, my dears? Is okay? Going good? And you already know? We send you already by, or we'll send you by the WhatsApp.
I wanted to explain first before sending.
We suggest you to print it and start contemplating. Enjoy the ride, my dear family. A lot of wisdom and understanding about existence will arise from these contemplations. You will see, according to our efforts and openness of mind. Yes, let's go.
Okay, so we have just finished with the 3 rounds and the 20 modes. So let's go to another point here. The next one is called the 3 connections. T Sandhi. 3 Sandhi connections.
The things that
3
together.
Connections. So the first connection here is actually the connection from Sankara to Vijnana.
Can you mark with the mouse?
It's already
a little bit clear.
Sorry. Okay, here.
Yes.
From Sankara to Vijnana. So this is from the past to the present, and then we have another connection, which is from present cause to the from present effect to present cause. This is from Vijnana to Tanha as another connection. And then we have the last connection here. You see this arrow is from Bhava, from the present cause to the future effects. So Bhava, Bhajaya Jati. So here we have the 3 connections as well. So these arrows are meaning from one life, from cause to effect, cause to effect, cause to effect, like that.
And we could say that here we will have the bigger arrow. The process continues again. So actually, it connects from past life to present life, from present life to future life, from cause to effect, from effect to cause, from cause to effect, from effect to cause, and rolling and rolling and rolling.
Okay, so these are the 3 connections. And then next we are going to the 2 roots, Dvi Mulani. So the 2 roots here, as we have seen, there are 6 kind of roots. And here in this Paṭicca-samuppada, 2 of them are very important for the continuation in samsara. So the first one is avijja, and the second one is tanha. So these 2 roots,
ignorance and desire.
Why are they important? They are called the 2 roots here, roots of the samsara, because they are the chief causes and conditions for us to get again turning around and around for rebirth to go on in samsara. No? So these are two chief roots here, avijja and tanha. So if we see, as we saw the leading cause, now we will explore a little bit about that. If we take a look at only the first half of the bhavacaka, from the past cause to present effects, so we can see that avijja here is the leading cause. Because of past avijja, there is action, then in the present results happened. Now, if we see the second part of the wheel here, then tanha is the leading cause in the present. Because in the present life, because we react to the Vedana with tanha,
we like it,
then
or dislike
we do
it.
more and more different kinds of things. No? So tanha is the chief in the second part of the cause and effect. So the first part, the chief is avijja, and the second part, chief is tanha.
Desire.
So sometimes, although we have seen in the kilesa vata, they are always together, but sometimes one is a leading cause, another is a leading cause in another situation.
More prominent, yeah.
Yes. Sometimes Sayadaw-ji, he explained with a very simple example. He said, like for a drug addict, for a person who gets into drugs, in the very beginning, so his friends invite him and he's like, let's go to the party. Why don't you take this? And so because of avijja, he don't know what it is. He don't know what the result is going to be. And he don't know, okay, we'll try.
He take the drug.
And he took it. So avijja is the leading cause at that time. No. So later on, and then he took the drugs and then he got addicted.
He liked it. He liked and gets attached to it.
And now avijja is not the leading cause anymore because he already know
what it is
and how it is going to give result, how bad it is, but he cannot come out of it because of tanha, because of attachment.
So now desire, the liking of it and the attachment that he has to that now is leading. He knows what it is. And as Chanara mentioned, the amazing, the heavy part in it is that he may even know the harm he's doing to himself, to his body, mind, family, finances, but he cannot control it, and he continued to do. Only the first one, he didn't know what that is, the way avijja leading, because he don't know, okay, I take, then
but
later on
also there,
some degree of tanha, but then later on is tanha and upadana, he cannot go. It is the thing that grips,
as well as avijja.
Yeah, avijja still there.
But that is secondary.
The wisdom that he has, or the knowledge how much he's harming to himself, herself, is not enough to help him take the stand and say, I will stop consuming this. It's hurting me and my family, or whatever. So ignorance continue reigning in that sense.
So in this example that Sayadaw-ji gave, it shows that sometimes avijja may lead, sometimes tanha may lead in different kinds of actions. No?
Very nice, no?
Yeah, very easy to understand. Okay, so these two roots are very, very important. Sometimes when I see this, I feel like, oh, like that. But it is what it is. Like Sayadaw, he explained that avijja is described as that avijja blindfold us, and tanha give us a push.
Oh, avijja blindfold us and put us in front of the precipice. Avijja bring us to the wrong, and tanha is the one that gives a push, and then suffering happens. Wow, this image is very powerful. A little bit painful, as Charana says.
Yes, so
avijja blindfold us, we don't know, and lead us to danger. And the one who gives the last push, like this image, is desire, is the one. So in that way, they work together. The first and the second noble truth it's a combination of the working of these two. Because of ignorance and desire, suffering arises. That is the cause of our suffering. And one makes its part, and the other. Yeah.
First noble truth is an effect. The second noble truth is
the cause. It is explained in the
and the third noble truth is effect, nibbana, in a way. And then the fourth noble truth is a cause, the way leading.
The noble eightfold path, the way leading to freedom. Fortunately, there is a way out, and this way out is described precisely where in this graph. Where can we go out of the cycle of suffering, the cycle of samsara? It is actually the most important thing to know from this graph, besides how it works, it's necessary to know how it works. We must know where we can stop planting new seeds of suffering and start going out of the cycle. This is the most important part of it, the thing that we need to bring onto practice. Otherwise, if he was just explaining us how it works without giving us instructions on what to do, it will be very interesting, but not much benefit. The benefit is coming now.
Yes. Okay. So a little bit more information, and then we will go to what Paṭicca were mentioning just now. So if we see here, the Paṭicca actually arise. I mean, the starting point is here, the avijja, no? So we will ask, then if the avijja is the starting point, then what is the cause and condition for avijja to arise? Because we said that nothing can arise just because something must be the cause of avijja as well, although it is the starting point. So in the scriptures, avijja is said to be caused by asavas. So as a reminder of what are asavas that we have seen in chapter 7 already. So asavas translated as the tanks, cankers, or flux, oozings, or corruptions
of the mind.
With the examples of like intoxicant drink or fermented thing that has been with us for a long time. Or it can also describe or given an example like the blood of pus, or like something flowing out of a sore,
of a wound.
So the asavas are, as we have seen in chapter 7, they are of 4 kinds. Kamasawa, cankers of attachment to sense desire. Bhavasawa, cankers of attachment to continue existence or different kinds of lives, and ditthi-sawa, the canker of wrong view, and avijja-sawa, the canker of ignorance. So here is actually avijja, lobha, and ditthi, these 3 things.
The 3. So using the same example that the Buddha gave, the impurities of our mind, or the putrefaction of our mind, the thing that makes it putrid, our mind, it will be our desires, our blindfold desires, the desire and attachment towards continuing existence, our wrong views, and ignorance itself. So that would be what pollutes our mind, what makes our mind defiled and putrid in some way. That is the very force that is keeping us blindly planting seeds that sooner or later generates suffering for ourselves. A little bit heavy. Sorry. I mean, not sorry, but it's a little bit.
It's just how it works. But anyway, don't worry. Exit is coming.
But of course, we're coming to the exit. But of course, whatever generates suffering, it couldn't be something nice. If it is generating suffering and a bad smell of mind, they should have been something smelly in the beginning. So a little bit heavy to see, but let's continue.
Okay, so let's continue. So now how to link the Paṭicca together, with avijja is the starting point, and then it turns and then to jara, marana, So the teachers explains that when we experience, when we get old, being oppressed by jara and marana, old age, sickness, and death, then sometimes we experience sokha parideva and so on, like a despair, sadness, and mental suffering also, So in this time, that because of these asavas, because being oppressed by jara and marana, we experience those mental pain, and those mental pain, because of those mental pains, asava arise. So we long for how we used to be when we were young, or like when we are as strong, then with when I was young, it was so nice, and this and that, and I wish that I was like that. And so many situations that can allow this have conditions, I should say, for this wrong view or craving or ignorance to arise. So this asava that we experience in this time contribute to more avijja, more ignorance to arise. So this is how the Paṭicca turns around and again and again.
As long as we are not free from that ignorance, unfortunately, the round will continue rolling.
So because of avijja and craving, more avijja arise, and then we keep doing things.
Yeah, it is the seed of avijja and craving. It will give more because that's the result of it.
Yes. Okay.
But
so
there is a way out.
So now let's that we have finished about the details of the Paṭicca-samuppada before we go to we are going to the exit. So details of the Paṭicca-samuppada, just as a summary of what we have seen. Then we have seen the 12 factors. The avijja paccaya sankara, sankara paccaya vijnana, vijnana paccaya namarupa, 12 factors. And we have seen the 3 time frames: the past, the present, and the future, no, the three lives, 3 lives. And then we have seen the 20 modes: 5 past cause, 5 present effect, 5 present causes, and 5 future effects, no, 20 modes. Then we have seen also the 3 junction points, the 3 sandhi, 3 connections from past to present, past cause to present effects, from present effects to present cause, from present cause to future effects, no? And the 3 junctions point we have seen. Then we have seen the 4 groups, the Chatu Sankepa, which are past cause, present effects, present cause, future effects. Then we have seen the 3 rounds, the Tini Watani, Kilesa Wata, the round of Kilesas, which are included in the 3, avijja, tanha, and upadana. No?
Yes,
the 3 of them.
The red one.
Kamawata, the green one. Sankara and Bhava, Kamabhava.
The active side of the process, yes.
Then Vipakawata,
the blue ones.
No, Vipakawatas, the results. And then we have seen also the 2 roots, which are the main cause, the chief factor for the continuation of samsara. Okay, now, so we have seen all these.
Going good.
All these other details about Paṭicca-samuppada.
How interesting, no, my family? How deep this is. Amazing. Let's continue, yeah.
So now the important thing is coming now here. About the past cause, it is already done. There is nothing that we can do about it. Yes, what is done is done. Present effects, because there are past cause, present effects are bound to happen. And also there is nothing that we can do about it. No, so this we nothing to do.
We cannot stop a mango tree from giving mangoes. It's already there. It's already there.
So the important junction or sandhi here is actually here, this point, no? How from present effects, how can we stop the present cause?
Yes, the way out.
The future effects does not happen anymore.
Yes,
no?
yes,
so
yes.
This is the point where something can be done.
Our practice can arise, our wisdom can rise to the occasion, and at that moment to recognize between Vedana when we experience something, and then we prevent the desire to arise, and the ignorance that is together with this is at that moment that even if we experience life, we are stopping the continuation of the wheel because we are experiencing in an equanimous way, in a wise way. We know that it is happening. We know it pleasant and unpleasant exist. There is no need to generate aversion or attachment again. Then we can start decreasing the force of the process and eventually stop the whole process of suffering, the new birth and the old age and the suffering that can arise from that. Cannot happen because the cause was not planted on the first way. Consciously, we planted the seeds.
Yes, so Bhante is explaining the how here. Now, the thing is that because we are not enlightened, so even we do good, even we react with equanimity, we react with kusala, we are still planting seeds. So karma itself cannot be eradicated because as long as there is action, there will be karma, no, see, because we are not totally enlightened yet. So what is important here is actually how to really stop this cycle is to eradicate tanha and avijja. Because you see, for the causes to work, it must have kilesa and it must have karma, no? So karma plus kilesa, these two together make a new life. So if we are doing good, and so, but anyway, there is karma. If we, so karma cannot be stopped in this sense, but if we stop kilesa, if we destroy the other factor, then it cannot work because there is only karma, like past karma. No, so if all the kilesas are being destroyed, then one do not create new karma, and all those karma that are created in the past cannot generate a new life anymore, because there is one point is missing. That is the kilesa, no? Because always kilesa plus karma generate new life. So the how to do is actually eradicate all the defilements.
Yes. If we want to make a cake and we take away water or flour, even if we have the zanahoria, how you call it, the carrot and the sugar and the butter, the cake cannot happen because one is broken. The link is broken. All the conditions for the continued existence are over. So the things we need to, through wisdom, through their opposites, we need to eradicate that ignorance and that desire that is generating and generating and generating more rounds.
So the exit is actually the Noble Eightfold Path, no? So by practicing the Noble Eightfold
Sila,
Path,
Samadhi, and Panya. Here we come back. The whole teaching is making sense at this moment. Because of awareness and concentration, we can figure out when are we getting attached and stopping that cause from continue planting seeds. Sorry.
Yes, so I was saying that by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, then one can arrive to the point where we totally eradicate ignorance and tanha. So there is no more kilesa, then no more kilesa, then future effects cannot happen in the sense of creating a new life. No? So that is how this Paṭicca-samuppada, the wheel of life or bhavacakra, is to be stopped.
So as we understand, with one enlightened person, he only has kriya, remember, some functional chitas. He's only doing the action, it's a good action, but he's not planting seeds anymore because he took away already all the ignorance and all the desire. He's just acting, and they act wholesomely because they have no bad roots anymore. But yes, they are not just action by itself, not they are only with the green one, not with the red one anymore.
Yes, Luis.
Don Luis.
I was remembering a chat where Bante explained to me two chitas that can be key points here, Kuti and Paṭicca. Maybe you going to explain it after, but maybe these two chitas can explain these links. Because Kuti, if I don't remember badly, was the past chitta who influenced the next life. Paṭicca is the first chitta.
Yes.
And if I don't remember bad, is Bhavanga who influenced Kuti.
Yeah, Chuti, yes. So you can see them here, Luisaso. For example, this will be Chuti, actually. Maranang, it will be happening here, and then it will connect to the new life. Or for example, from here, it will happen somewhere here, and then you have Vijnana when the Paṭicca arises. Actually, as if remembering the previous chapters, whenever consciousness arises, the karma from previous actions will bring also the rupa, and then here we have Nama and Rupa. So actually, it is rolling between these changes from past to future.
Yes, actually, Chuti and Paṭicca, it arises from the past life and the present life. Let's say that it arises immediately. But let's remember that Chuti is a resultant consciousness. It actually does not affect the Paṭicca. But Chuti is the one that arises before Paṭicca, because death consciousness arises immediately, rebirth consciousness arises. What affect is our previous karma, our action. So the jhāvana in the last process, it will those karma that we have done that has the most power at that moment will present itself to those jhāvanas. No, so those jhāvanas are the ones that actually affect what kind of Paṭicca is going to arise in the next life. Because Chuti is only a resultant; it cannot affect anything. But it only arises. But because if it does not arise, Paṭicca also does not arise. So it is important in this sense.
Let's think, Luisaso, in Chuti process. Yes, in the Chuti process, the jhāvana, the active side, is the one that's gonna influence the future. But as Charana is mentioned, the Chuti chitta itself actually is of the same quality of the Bhavanga and of the previous Paṭicca of that life. So it's actually rolling as a resultant. But yes, in the Chuti process, in the last one, the active Maranasana process, it will be that part active that will give the Gati Nimitta or Kama Nimitta. You remember the sign of destination or the sign of Kama, and that will determine based on our actions from previous life. Actually, it is not just we are responsible for it. We did something for it. We are just effect. So if we're looking with the microscope, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. But Charana is clarifying even better with the Chuti itself being our impact. It's clearer, Don Luisazo? It will become more and more clear. And then later on, this graph can be separated in ultimate realities. It becomes very interesting. But as we said before, my dear family, just to study on the depth of this, of ultimate realities and Patana and all the forces that are running, the 24 forces that can be enacting on this process, wow, it will be another course of some years. So we are just opening a beautiful avenue of investigation, and it is up to us to see how far down the rabbit hole we wish to go. May wisdom arise from this. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so here, let's continue with this. We were talking about the exit, of how to break the link
process
of the Bhavacakka. So
of suffering, yeah.
So in this previous few sessions, we have been looking in the Anuloma, the order of arising. The order of arising, because there is ignorance that's the leading cause, not the only cause. Then Sankara arises. Then because of Sankara, Vijnana, etc. No. So now we're going to the cessation of it. No, the other order of cessation.
The opposite order.
Anuloma, then we have Patiloma. No, the order of cessation, what we just mentioned.
That is what generates, that is what generates suffering. Now we will look at how to and stop that suffering from arising.
Yes, so in the Patiloma section, the order of cessation is clearly mentioned in the first phrase. Vijaya Twewa Asesa Viraga Nirodha Sankara Nirodo. So here, avijja, and viraga here is like with the remainderless or the total cessation of avijja and of raga and of
desire
tanha,
and ignorance.
With the total cessation of these two, the main chief factor. Then
Sankara.
Yes, avijja and tanha, viraga here, nirodha.
Cannot happen. Nirodo it ceases. It's the cessation, because there is no ignorance on desire. Then Sankara, there is no action. No one wants to do something. So nobody is planting more seeds. There will come no fruit. And then here we go to the next one. Vijnana Nirodo, because there is no action or potentiality or karma, there is no fruit. Nobody planted a seed. We have never seen a tree that arises out of nothing, because there was no seed, there cannot be fruit. In this case, Vijnana. If there is no Vijnana, there is no Nama Rupa. If there is no Patisandhi, Chetasika and the Rupa that accompanies that, it will not happen. And then because there is no Salayatana Nirodo, because there is no body and mind. If there is nobody to develop the senses, how do eyes? If there is no baby, where do the eyes come from? Where do the ears come from? Then no Salayatana Niroda, Fasa Nirodo. If we have nothing to perceive the sounds, the visuals, the smells and the taste, contact with the sound and smells and light and form cannot happen. If there is no contact, Fasa Niroda, Vedana Nirodo. If there is no contact with beautiful or ugly, pleasant or unpleasant, the pleasant or unpleasant cannot happen, because there is nothing to perceive it in the first place, already finished.
No Vedana,
no Tanha. If there is nothing to feel or experience as pleasant or unpleasant, Lobha and Moha cannot come anymore. Ignorance cannot accompany anymore. There is nothing to be perceived already, because there is no desire, loba,
no tanha, cannot have upadana.
cannot have this attachment. So Dhyana Nirodha, Upadana Nirodha, Upadana Nirodha, Bhava Nirodha. There is no more action because there was no attachment, nothing
and no
to do.
new 5 aggregates.
And no new 5 aggregates because Bhava Nirodha, Jati Nirodha, because there was no seed, nobody born. There is no baby again. There is no mother and father. There is no reconnection, no Patisandi. Jati Nirodha, Jara, Maranang, Soka, Paridewa, Dukkha, Domana, Supayasa, Nirujanti. Because there is no body, there is no mind to experience suffering. How can suffering exist on that process that already ceased? In that way, Ewa Metasa, Kewalasa, Dukkha Kandasa, Samudaya, Nirodho Hoti. The whole body or mass of suffering in this way is totally eradicated. It ceases forever. No more suffering. No one to suffer that suffering.
There is real peace then after when everything is ceased. So that is the order of cessation, patiloma. Okay.
That is the teaching of Paṭicca-samuppada.
How
We need
it
to see
arises
how
and
it goes
ceases.
and how we can do to cease. There are more instructions on the how is the most important. What and when can we stop that process?
Yes, so we come to the end of the brief explanation of the Paṭicca-samuppada, how it arises and how it ceases. So it is important then because this is explaining about samsara, how we are rolling here, and what is the possibility of going out of it and how to do.
Who are we? Why did we born? Why is there something and not nothing in the universe?
Because
My
of
dear
kilesa
family,
and karma,
the
according to
answer,
Paṭicca-samuppada.
the answer is in this graph. The answer is in the wisdom that will arise from it. Who are we? Why? Here are.
Okay, dear friends, I think this silence is very nice and we could stay for a long, long time. But here I would just like to give you a choice. If we want, we can just stay here and then everybody contemplate on the Paṭicca-samuppada. Or if you have any questions or something that is not clear about the graph or anything, or something
like
you
to
want
explore.
to share, or how you feel about it, also is possible.
The space is open.
Yes, and then we have like 30 minutes. I'm not so sure if we do a short introduction to Patana, I think maybe it's too much content. So we will either stop here or we will just explore a little bit.
It's better. It's better to stop here. It's up to you. If you wish to explore something, or as Charana said, we can also just rejoice on the accomplishment we have come together. As you feel, my dear family. Something to need clarified, we can explore.
I would like to make a comment because
yes.
one of the questions, the deep questions that I asked myself since I was a kid was why some people can be wise and others can't. So I see the answer here because of the tendencies, the anusaya, the seeds that we planted from other lives. So finally, I can see the answer.
Yes, very
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. What other questions are being answered, my dear family?
Nancy, actually, also one thing that just to clarify, if somebody is wise, it's because of his tendency in previous life and practice in previous life. We can call this actually parmis, or we can call this like the wisdom that he has accumulated in previous life. Just I mentioned this for information.
Further exploration.
Usually, anusaya refers only to kilesas, only to bad tendencies. So there is no latent goodness.
You will say,
this word.
you will say, for that person to be able to be wise, it is because of the anusaya. He continued on this rolling. But yes, actually, the wisdom that he or she has developed will be based on their previous practice. As we know, wisdom requires effort, requires the time for study, as we are fortunately doing in these sessions, trying our best in this way or another way, cultivate ourselves and strengthen it with our good actions and our understanding of how good wisdom is. That makes it more powerful and grow. Vipassana practice.
That this will be a good introduction to the coming class, coming session, which is about Patana. Patana explained 24 conditions, and this why these people can become wise. What kind of support or what kind of force like is there? Actually, this is Upanisaya Pacheyo. So this is an intense support condition from past life. In the next sessions, we will
look for it, Nancy. You will see that the answer even will get much more detailed. Now we are getting closer. We are on the door. We will come in and we will see perfect detail who precisely is making us as wise or as ignorant as we may be at this very moment. Yes, I'm very happy, my dear sister, to hearing this. It is sad, really. It rejoices the heart to know that one of these questions which stay with us for years, I have to say good news, more and more will start being answered through our explorations. May we continue inspired to continue looking. We are just beginning.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear sister. I love you.
I love you.
Yes, Don Luis, may the benefits of our practice be of service to our families and everybody around. Yes, Don Luis.
I wanted to ask something that maybe you have explained in another class, but I was thinking in organic stuff, if the Paṭicca-samuppada can explain the vital cycle of life, how is explained the other things that exist?
In a previous, actually in a previous session, we have mentioned that Patana, Paṭicca-samuppada concerns only living beings. So it does not explain other things outside living beings. It explains how beings are in samsara, the cause and the conditions for beings to be in samsara. So for the conditions of other things like plants or outside things and all these things will be explained by way of Patana.
We are coming to that. We will explain more details on the relation between different forms of matter, reminding that for the Buddha's teaching, to be considered a being, it must be an organism that is aerobic already. All the anaerobic, all the anaerobic organisms are not considered a being per se. So as long as it has anapana, as long as there is the exchange of oxygen for energy, then that will be called a being. So bacteria, some viruses, actually, when we wash our hands, are just conditions. We are not killing anything because it's not considered a being itself. And that in Patana will bring more specific details on it.
Thank you.
Yes. Somebody else, my dear family, how are we? What does this information has arrived in our minds? What potential do we see? Don Diegas, bienvenido.
I just wanted to say that I agree with you that it's a great idea to rejoice in the accomplishment of finding a little bit of the clue of what the cause of this fire is.
Yes.
Sadhu. Yes, joy, my dear brother. I'm very happy to be here. Very happy that we have continue. More to come, wisdom to come. We have now we have opened the door just. Yes, Don Guillermo, welcome.
Sila, Sati, Pana, and Sakara, the consciousness is very important if we want to get rid of suffering throughout the knowledge of what you are doing wrong and what you are not doing correctly, which means that you can change the cycle of suffering just by having that sati, that consciousness, that capability of detecting exactly what you are not doing correctly and changing your behavior throughout intentions to do good and to do the right things in the right moment, and that it will make the future that you will have more wisdom. Is that true?
Yes, yes, it works like that.
I will also add that it is equally important to recognize what we are doing right. So where we can't repeat those causes as well.
Note both wholesome and unwholesome, and instead of correct or incorrect, because that brings in my tendency, for example, sometimes gives some pressure. It's just to see what is wholesome and unwholesome, what kind of seeds we're planting. But yes, you describe precisely sila, samadhi, and panya. That is the thing. We start with our morality. We stabilize our mind because we have no guilt or remorse of having done wrong. Then later on, naturally, the mental stability, which generates more wisdom, and that wisdom reinforces the cycle, making our sila better, more mental stability, and the inner development goes as far as to liberating all together from suffering, even enlightenment. Yes, we are talking from the very suffering of life to our potentiality of being free from samsara. We are talking about a big stuff, big potentiality of happiness and freedom. Yes, Don Guillermo, it's just like that.
So I just want to clarify a little bit more that knowledge is not the same thing as wisdom. Wisdom is much more the capability of distinguishing between good and bad, kusala and akusala. Knowledge is just the conception of the information of things that you need to have that wisdom. So it's good to study and to have knowledge, but it's not enough. We have to jump next level, which is wisdom, which you can have more consciousness and more sati, if you want to call it like that, of what you are doing good, you are doing right, you are doing correctly, confronting with your bad things, your akusala and dukkha, and all the things that you are provoking to yourself and to other people, which is harm. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I am trying to clarify all the concepts.
I just wanted to add a little bit. Panya, exactly as you say, it's right. There are different kinds of panya to know what is right or wrong, to know what is skillful and unskillful. In other words, kusala or akusala is one kind of wisdom. To understand what is suitable and what is not suitable is another type of wisdom. Then to understand reality as it is, to recognize nama as nama, rupa as rupa, to see reality really as it is, to understand the Four Noble Truths, how things are suffering, what is the cause of suffering,
Paṭicca-samuppāda,
the understanding of Paṭicca-samuppada. So there are a lot of different layers of wisdom. At the end, those wisdom that knows reality as it is, knowing cause and effect, knowing anicca, dukkha, and anatta, knowing the characteristics of everything.
That will be
those are the things that liberate us from suffering. But knowing good and bad is the very beginning, and it is necessary. A good type of wisdom as well. But there are much deeper level with the word that we call panya.
And to add something and to make very clear the contrast between knowledge and wisdom is that there is also bad knowledge. There is a person who knows how to harm somebody else, and that is knowledge. He learned how to rob a bank, and that is knowledge. So to make even greater the contrast between, we must know that wisdom is only wholesome. There is no bad wisdom ever, because wisdom, two things it does. It understands reality as it is and uses that knowledge for the benefit of oneself and other. That is the experiential wisdom, the most beneficial. And knowledge in itself, oh, there are so many rubbish knowledge that exist in the world. It's just a matter to go into internet. So many things to know that are not fruitful and often actually are harmful. So the difference between both of them is actually they are close together, but really, really far. Wisdom can, as we have seen in previous chapter, in chapter 2, can only happen in kusala mental state. It is always good and chooses for the goodness. So yes, it is, and as Charana says, big depths of it. So the best one is the one we experience directly. Remember that there are mainly 3 kinds that the Buddha explained. Sutta Maya Panya, so the wisdom that we listen, right now we are using that one. We listen new information, we just listen, we don't know yet, we haven't proven it. Then we have Chinta Maya Panya, which is, we think about it, in general terms, we think, well, is it this true really? We consider it, and then Bhavana Maya Panya, which is the deepest one. Once we prove what we listen, we contemplate on it, and then we prove it. Yes, to do good is good because I'm receiving the fruits of that goodness. And that gives us even if we knew before that doing good is good, now we will definitely do it because we are already experiencing the fruits of our application of that wisdom. So the best kind of wisdom is not the one that is on the drawer or in the books, but the one we are using with our family, our day-to-day life, and the most beneficial for, not just for us, for many people. Many sides to look at the treasure of wisdom. Yes. Yes, Don Guillermo, just like that. Nancy, avanti.
I just remember something that Sayadaw Tayaniya says that it's very important also to know our bad side, otherwise we cannot go ahead and improve our good side.
Yeah,
it's
we don't know
really necessary to see it.
Yes.
Both of them, both.
Yes.
Something else, my dear family, you wish to explore, and we are very happy to be now here.
Yes, to close Paṭicca-samuppada, it's a milestone.
The first round, maybe I dare to say that all the previous chapters, all these 7 chapters, was the preparation. And yes, until now we can explain what Paṭicca-samuppada is. So all these 2 years of work, we are just coming to the beginning of opening the door of the real benefits who can arise from here, my dear family. So really echoing the words of Diego, and I will say all of us, let's focus on this joy and knowing that our efforts has brought us here. May they really bring benefits in our lives, give us the strength and inspiration to continue walking in this path. The instructions are clear. The way out is Vipassana meditation, Samatha meditation, stabilizing our mind, Sila that started before, taking care of our actions in voice and body, take care of our stability of mind, and the wisdom that is bound to come. My dear family, we all of us have the keys. The Buddha left some keys of the door. This Paṭicca-samuppada is the key. It's just the beginning. We need to learn how the key works. Hopefully, very soon and easily, we all open that door, the door of goodness and well-being. Let's remember our mother dearly with gratitude, our father, wherever they may be, may the conditions be well, and hopefully we can help for the inspiration so this benefit is harvested by themselves in their own understanding. We remember our brothers and sisters, wherever they may be, our sons and daughters, granddaughters, may they rejoice and benefit from these fruits. Our friends and family, people we know, people we don't know, especially those who suffer more than us. Our teachers, neighbors, our country, our world, the universe. We share the merits with beings in lower realms. May they also be benefited from our efforts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We are trying, my dear family, at least. Something to add, Jen?
Well, thank you everybody for your effort. To arrive to here is really an achievement. So thank you so much for your effort, and may all our efforts be support condition for attainment of the highest wisdom and happiness.
Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Sabitijo biwajantu sokoro gowenya satu mate bawa tuantarayo suki dikayuko bawang biwadana silisa nichamuta pachajino chattaro dhamma wadanti ayuwano sukham balam. Bhavatu Sabha Mangalam Rakantu Sabha Devata Sabha Buddhanu Dhammanu Sanganu Bhavenang Sabha Sukhi Bhavantu Te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all happiness and well-being accompany us and all beings in the universe. Why not? All of us.
Thank you, everybody. Have a very good night. Take
Good
rest,
night.
and we'll see you next week. And we're going to Patana conditionality.
Otsukare-sama, as the Japanese said. Well done. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good work, my dear family. We are doing good. The door is open. Let's continue walking. See you next Sunday night.
See you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye, my dear
Have a
family.
good day and good night.
Stay well, my dears.
Bye.